Hi there guys, so we're back and now we're going to talk about custom fonts. In the last video we talked about how to use web fonts and change different fonts based on serif and sans serif styles out there. If you have not checked that video out, I strongly recommend you do so. So where we left off, we have this page here, we have these different fonts and we typed what they are. And then I did change our sidebar to reflect the fantasy. See how nice that is? And then I moved our footer up a little bit just so that we can see it. So now that we're here, now we're going to dive into custom fonts. Google has a lot of awesome custom fonts for us to use, and you will be amazed how simple it is. So I'm going to go into one of our other browsers here, and so I'm in Chrome. Doesn't really matter. We can go to use any browser and go to google.com/fonts and then hit enter. There are so many fonts out there, so you could definitely have fun in here finding fonts to use. I encourage you, surf around, find the one that speaks your name and pick it. But for this one, we're going to go ahead and, let's see, just pick one towards the top here. I do know, I'm going to go after a handwriting one because we're going to change our header, what's along the top, and I want that to look pretty unique. And so, let's see here. So I just unchecked everything and left the handwriting category. That's pretty cool. Oh, I love fonts. I am one of those font geeks out there. You know what? I think I like this Handly here. So you find the one you like, and then we're going to click on this plus sign here to select it. Once we've selected it, we can click on it down here, and then it gives us the option embed or customize. We're going to stick on embed here. And then it gives us the code already pre-written. Isn't that awesome? Not only does it give us the code for our head, but it also gives us the CSS. So how neat is that, right? So first we're going to copy this one. So highlight it and then Control-C for those PC users and Command-C for those Mac users. And then go into your code, and this goes up here in the head. So I have the head up here. And then I'm just going to go here and paste it so you see it there. And then we're going to scroll down to our styles, and I said I wanted to put it in the header, right? So here's my header, my H1 styles, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick it underneath the color because the colors and the fonts go well together. And then my positioning I try to keep together too. And then I'm going to go back here, copy the style, which is what we covered in our previous lesson, font/family, colon, and then the name, and then the default type. So I'll paste it here and we can go over that a little bit more. Command-V for Mac, Control-V for PC, and here we go. So if we take a look at it, it's font-family, which we're used to, colon, and then Handly is the name of the font that we picked. And then it still gives us our default font. In the event something happens and this breaks, it will still use a cursive type font, which is nice. If we wanted to, just in case that didn't work, if we'd rather have something else reflected, like maybe we want it to be Verdania, in the event it doesn't work, and then a cursive option, just know that you can continue to add to the families, but it will first try to apply Handly. And if we scroll up to what we pasted, link href, and then it's the link to the Google Fonts page there, CSS and family, and then see there's that name, Handly. So you don't really have to understand what it's doing there. All you have to know is to copy and paste that in the head, and then copy and paste the CSS to the applicable place that you want to style, which for us was the header right here. And then let's go ahead and save it. And then let's give it a try. So I'm going to go back to my page here. Here we go. And then I'm going to refresh. And ta-da, that easy. Can you believe how easy that was? We have so many fonts at our fingertips. And what's nice about web fonts like this, our custom fonts, is that we don't have to worry about that font not being loaded on the person's computer. It doesn't have to be preloaded because it's pulling it from the web. It's pulling it from Google's web server where they have all these special fonts housed. So this should work across the board on the computers. But again, it's always great to have a default in the event Google's site goes down. You know, that was so quick that I think we can cover something else in this video too. So let's talk about adding a shadow to our header that we just added, our really cool font to. So let's go to our code here. And in our H1, underneath where we just put that font family, let's go ahead and hit enter. And then let's type box shadow, help if I spelled it right, colon, and then space. And then here is where we're going to type in a couple different pieces of information. And we're going to go ahead and type them first, and then I'll explain them to you afterwards. We can go through them. So let's just follow along with me here. We have 5px for pixels. I think 10. We'll give 10 a shot next. And then 3, and then let's go ahead with, well, let's see, what color do we want our shadow? Let's just go with probably like a gray. Let's go with a pound 333. Okay, so now that we've typed it in, let me tell you what these are. The first number is the horizontal offset of the shadow, and then the second number is the vertical offset, and then the third number is the blur radius, and then this fourth value here is the color of the shadow. It may seem a little crazy to you now, but once we look at it, then we'll start playing around with it and you'll see what it does. So let's save this and go in here and let's refresh. And you see what it did there? It added a box shadow to our header. It makes it look like our header is floating above the rest of the page, which is kind of a trip, right? Probably not ideal. Let's go ahead and apply it to the font instead. And let's change it from box to text. And then save it here, and then watch what happens. Now instead of applying it to the bar, it will apply it to the font. How neat is that, right? Now looking at it, I'm looking at my vertical, and the vertical is probably a little too big for me here. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit to 7, see what it looks like. And I encourage you, play with the numbers until it looks how you want it to look like too. See how it got a little closer? That looks really nice. And then maybe I don't want that dark of color. So let's just try, thinking here, let's just try a gray. See what that looks like. There, that's a lot lighter. I like it a little bit more subtle. And it says, "Hello world." How neat is that? Now as far as the box shadow, that did look pretty cool, so why don't we go ahead and try to apply that to our footer. I think it will look better on the footer. So if we go down here, box shadow, and then let's go, not as heavy this time, we're going to go 3, and then 7, and then 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick with the darker color on this one, see what it looks like. Much better, yes. I think that looks really good on the footer since it's towards the bottom here. And so there we go. Not only did we cover the wonderful world of custom fonts, we also added a text shadow to our header, and then we added a box shadow to our footer. I hope you enjoyed this topic as much as I enjoy showing you. And if you do, hit that subscribe button so that we can cover more of these fun topics together in the future. And I think that about does it for this video, so I will catch you next time.